Africa is a continent of challenges and of endless possibilities. From politics and leadership to governance, agriculture, economics, health, education, culture, and every sector in between. We uncover the stories that shape our future. We explore the problems, expose the opportunities, and propose realistic solutions that can make a difference for everyone. This is Africa 360, Africa in full view.
Welcome to Africa 360, a show in which we look at Africa from all angles, from education to health to leadership to governance to economics to every other aspect. On this show we discuss African problems and diagnose the problems and produce solutions to the problems, solutions that are workable and practical. On the show today is a great African, and I want to welcome him to introduce himself properly as an African.
Yeah.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Job. So my name is Kraspos Takura Kujinga, and I'm African first, before I'm anything else. I come from Zimbabwe, but we should understand that Zimbabwe before, way long back, it was an inhabited area. There was no one staying there. So our people came from Lake Tanganyika area. That's where we can trace them. We call it in our language, we call it Guruswa. Guruswa, like the land of the tall grasses.
Okay. But
also in our language, Tanganyika means beginning of the world in our Shona language. So that's where our story began, in Tanganyika, and our people migrated from Tanganyika to Malawi, Mozambique, then finally present day Zimbabwe. That is where the bulk of the population settled in.
Which people are those?
Right now in Zimbabwe, we are now, because of our history, there are a mixture of people, but the bulk of the population are the Shona people.
So the people who moved from Tanganyika are the Shona?
Yeah, but we also have other tribes which moved up north to settle in South Africa, to settle in Botswana, to settle in other countries in the south of Zimbabwe. But we are all Bantu. We all have similar things in our culture or similar things in our traditions. So we might be different, but we are the same. Our roots are the same. Our roots are Bantu. So furthermore to this, this story goes on further. When we were moving from Tanganyika, we were leaving behind, some people were leaving some people behind in Malawi, for example, Mozambique, for example, and some of our people settled again in South Africa. So we should understand that Africa at that time, there were no borders, there were no passports. Yeah, people were just moving as and when they wanted to move. So it means that in actual fact, we have some of our DNA in Mozambique, we have some of our DNA in Malawi, we have some of our DNA in Tanzania. It means that if I'm in Tanzania, I'm home. If I'm in Malawi, I'm home. If I'm in Mozambique, I'm home. If I'm in South Africa, I'm home. That's why I'm saying I'm African first before I'm anything else. Yeah.
Great. Now, what does it mean to be an African to you? Who is a typical African?
To be an African, the most important thing is to understand your history. You can't be a proper African if you don't understand where you're coming from. Because we are saying in this, we want to solve problems. African problems. So to solve, you have to understand your history. Where are you coming from? It means you have to put everything together and analyze where you're coming from and how to solve where you want to be. So being an African is understanding your history, understanding your economics, understanding the land issues surrounding Africa. You have to understand everything from the historical perspective to the present. Yeah, that's being an African for me.
Now, how can you use the thinking tool to explain how an African can understand who he or she is?
Yeah, this is a thinking tool. It's a principle that I borrowed from Bishop Maponga. So you can fashion it any way you want. Me, I think in color. Okay. So this is how I imagine the Africa that we want. And so everything begins at the top.
So this is the thinking tool.
This is the thinking tool
Okay.
that I have fashioned in a way that I want. So for me, everything begins at the top. Red, we have the governance
The
issues.
governance. Okay.
Governance issues, the leadership issues in Africa. The green, the agriculture
Okay.
issues in Africa. Then going down, the blue, education. It might be formal, informal, anything. It's education. Then dividing the white and the black. White is the spirituality,
Okay.
black is the black culture.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's dividing every facet. Then the yellow, the minerals.
Okay.
Then we repeat again the governance, double emphasis.
Okay.
We repeat again the land, double emphasis.
Okay.
Then finally, at the bottom is the media and
Okay.
entertainment,
Okay.
which is also important in our African culture.
Wow. So now, how do we understand ourselves today as Africans?
How do you understand today as Africans?
Does a modern day African have a proper understanding of who he or she is?
I mean, most people of our generation, they don't, because you don't understand where you're coming from. I was laughing the other day in South Africa, for example. They're saying, you foreigners, go back to your land. Go back.
South Africans.
Yeah, South Africans. Telling fellow Africans
Okay. Who are not South Africans.
who are not South Africans, go back. So when we are analyzing that situation, we see that we have a people who don't understand what it means to be Africa. Because, like I explained in the introduction, our people, we were moving without borders from place to place. So that movement is still within us.
Okay.
People are still moving right now. People can move from Malawi to South Africa looking for employment, which means that, yes, we have borders, but in actual fact, Africa is still a borderless country. It's just one country. So what we see in South Africa are people with lack of education and understanding and historical bedrock, which makes you understand what it means to be African. So that's the challenge that we have in Africa, not understanding how all of these issues are interconnected. So,
And also how we are connected as Africans.
and how we are connected as Africans. So if you can't find a common thing with another person of African origin, then you have lost it as an African. You have lost it.
Now, like you said, you moved from Tanganyika
Yes.
all the way to present-day Zimbabwe.
Present-day Zimbabwe.
But some of the people remained in Malawi.
Yes,
Some
yes, yes.
in Mozambique.
Yes, 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 yes.
Now, how do we explain the concept of Ubuntu, and how do we use it to understand ourselves as Africans today?
Yeah, Ubuntu is it's a very great concept, but in one of the books, African Religion by Lugira, it says Ubuntu is difficult to understand if you don't have education.
What kind of education?
Like if you don't have the self-education, it's
Okay.
difficult for you to understand. But Desmond Tutu went on to say, Bishop Desmond Tutu went on to say that Ubuntu, you know when it's not there.
Okay.
Yeah. You
How,
know.
How do we know?
You know when it's not there. For example, you can take the situation in South Africa, for example. Because Ubuntu means you understand that we have common things as Africans. It means that one hand washes the other.
Okay.
You are being there for your brother. You're being there for your sister.
I am because we are.
I am because we are. It means the community approach. We are building each other as Africans because we know that we have same things in common. So Ubuntu is a classical concept of how our ancestors lived with each other, in harmony with each other, with peace in each other. And they existed because other people existed. They valued each other. They valued the environment. And most importantly, they valued themselves. So, in a nutshell, Ubuntu is what it really means to be human. Yeah.
Now let's go through the thinking tool and look at each segment one by one.
Yes.
To begin with, what is the state of affairs in Africa today?
The state of affairs in Africa, it's a sad state because people are dying. The guns are still louder than ever. You know, the African Union said 2063 resolutions,
Agenda 2063.
Agenda 2063, the guns should be silent by
2020.
By 2020, but right now
This is 2026.
it's 2026 and they are still louder. Take a look and I'm always referring to South Africa because I'm from the south. But if you take in South Africa in 2024, about close to 26,000 people died.
26,000 people
Yeah,
died.
black people killing
Black people.
black people, you know,
Okay.
gun violence, whatever, conflict. People are killing each other
That's in South Africa alone.
in South Africa alone.
Okay.
If we move up in the DRC, millions. Millions have died, millions have been displaced. Why? Because people fighting for the land, the minerals. In Sudan, there's no peace. It's war after war. If you go to, which other country can you go? If you go to Nigeria, for example, West Africa, you know, religious differences, you know, kids being abducted, you know. So if we see Africa from south to north,
Terrorism all over.
all over, west to east, you know, it's just chaos. But most importantly, lives are being lost. Why? Because of the land, of the minerals. So at the center of everything, it's always the economics. It's always about the land. It's always about the minerals. And that's why we see people are dying all over. So that's the current state of affairs, and everything else is just feeding into the economics. It's just feeding into everything. So that is what pains my heart a lot.
Now, on the top, we have governance, right?
Yes, there's also
What is
governance.
the state of governance, leadership, and politics in Africa today? And how does that explain the situation in Africa today? We talk about people dying in South Africa, in Congo, in West Africa.
Yeah, when we look at governance, we should understand, like I said, governance is feeding into the economics. It's feeding into the land, it's feeding into the minerals. So if we have a government which doesn't understand, for example, what it means to be African, Ubuntu, for example. So if we have someone in leadership who doesn't understand those things, we now have a crisis. But on the other hand, if we go back to learn from history, some of our governments during the colonization period, we had the capitalistic people coming in. Capitalistic minds, the Europeans came in with a capitalistic agenda. And for example, in my country, we had the help from the communists, the Chinese and the Russians. They helped us to get our independence. So we had the capitalistic, which wanted to grab things, the minerals, which wanted to grab the economics, and we had the communists, which were helping us, Africans, to get back the economics. So now, what we were left with was a governance which is cut in between capitalistic tendencies and communist tendencies. So we lost our identity as leaders, and it trickled into the governance. Now we see leaders who are capitalistic driven. The motto of capitalistic thinking is maximize as you can. Then we start to see corruption. The communist system is you have two cows, right? You both give them to the government, and the people you get the milk back
From the government.
from the government. So we see those tendencies in our
The
government.
government owns the cows.
The government owns everything, and the people are poorer than ever. So
That's communism.
that's communism. Then capitalism, if I have two cows, I sell one female, buy a bull, maximize the herd as possible. So we see that again in our leadership, the capitalistic drive.
And socialism?
And socialism, it's kind of in between. You keep one, isn't you give one to the poor and you give one to the government. So socialism is kind of in between. But for now, for the sake of explanation, I will focus on capitalism, the extreme, and communism, the other extreme. So that's the challenge that we have with our leadership. It's either you might see a leadership with a capitalistic drive, or you see a leadership with a communistic drive. So what happened to our African drive? What happened to our Ubuntu drive? It got eroded along the way. So that's the general state of the governance in Africa. But at the center of everything is always and will be the economic issues.
Now, there's a common belief that Africa as a continent is poorly governed.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
I would say yes and no. I mean, the government, since the beginning of time, if we check in history, governments have never been for the people.
Okay.
Governments have always been self-centered. So, yeah, most governments don't govern well. I would agree with that. That's the yes part. But it also boils down to an issue of self-governance. How are we governing ourselves as Africans? You know, for example, if we go back in the Congo, most people say that the Europeans are funding the conflicts in Congo, but because they are funding with the money. But my question would be, if you are given money, would you kill me? So we see that Africans, it's an issue of, yes, there's poor governance, but also the part of self-governance is lacking. So an ideal African situation is whereby people have an ideal sense of self-governance. If we start at the bottom, it will easily trickle up
Now,
to the top.
how can we ensure self-governance in Africa?
Self-governance comes with taking responsibility of our own situation as African people. Because of course, yes, the government is not doing properly, but what am I doing as an individual? What's my responsibility? How am I taking care of the environment that I'm living in? How am I taking care of the people that are around me, and how am I taking care of myself? So it's easy to blame the government and remove the responsibility from our own selves. Because some of our problems in Africa are man-made. They are just man-made, and they have nothing to do with the government. Of course, the government is not governing well, but some of our problems are because of our inability to take responsibility.
Now, to what extent is poor leadership and poor governance responsible for the current mess in Africa?
Of course, you know, like I said, if we take a look back in history, you know, our leadership, it got shaken along the way. So I would say yes, the leadership, the current top leadership is largely responsible for the current mess that we are in. But like I said before, in as much as they might be responsible, we also have a part to play in this situation. We also have to take a self-leadership approach in the situation that we find ourselves in. So yeah.
Now, where do we draw the line between leadership and governance in Africa?
So leadership is about serving the people, and leadership is a term that can be used to anyone. Are you a leader yourself? But now governance, we're now talking about the structures in the government, accountability, and the checks and balances. So leadership is a general term. It can mean anyone in the street could be a leader. But are we leaders ourselves? The citizens, are they leaders? So there's a difference, there's a big difference between leadership and governance. But sometimes when we explain it, we just say governance to explain it in a just to make it less complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, leadership and politics?
Leadership and politics. Politics is the game that people play. You know,
It's a game.
yeah, it's a game that people play. You know, you might not mean what you say, you might not believe what you say, but you just want to be voted in power.
Okay.
So you might say things that are in alignment with the people that want to vote for you.
Okay.
So politics comes because its basis is on the so-called democratic fabric, which is a borrowed concept from the Europeans. So
Democracy.
Yeah, democracy is it's a borrowed concept. We, before the beginning, before the Europeans came to us, we had our own form of governance, politics, leadership, what do you call it, which was not European based. But now politics in Africa comes as another Western concept, which might work, but it was never our thing.
Is it working for us?
Yeah, it's a case study that we have to do, but we have to go deeper analysis. But I don't think democracy and Western politics or Asian politics or whatever is working for us.
Do we have democracy in Africa?
Democracy in Africa, there's one thing, what I read, they say democracy is mathematically impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a proof for that democracy is...
Where did you read it?
I'll attach the link in the video, but democracy is actually mathematically impossible.
So it's a myth, it's a scam.
We can't call it a scam, but it's an illusion. It's an illusion. We'll never get to a place where, it's 100% democracy.
No.
So
what is democracy?
Democracy, people have many meanings of democracy. People define it the way that they
As
want
an African, how do you understand democracy?
We never understood
that myth, that illusion.
We never understood it. Like I said, democracy, it's a borrowed concept. It's a borrowed philosophy. It's a borrowed way of thinking. But they say that democracy, the voice belongs to the people.
Power belongs to the people.
Power belongs to the people. That's what they say is democracy. But do the people have the power right now in Africa? So it's something that, I'm still also thinking about. But like I said before, we'll attach the link. Democracy, it's mathematically impossible. Yeah.
Democracy is mathematically impossible.
Mathematically, it's impossible.
Is it democratically possible?
Like what?
Is democracy democratically possible?
I would say no.
Why?
I would say no, because me, I'm a man of science. I'm a man of math. So if the math is saying it's impossible, it means that we will never have.
So democracy is democratically impossible, also.
Yeah, I would say that, but I don't want to get in trouble, but because I'm not a qualified politician or anything. But yeah, it's something that we have to sit down and have honest conversations about it. If we say that democracy is impossible in Africa, so what is the best method for us? So it's a conversation that I think young and old, we should sit down
and explore
and really have a mature conversation about it. Like what will work for us? What is the best system for us, which will give power to everyone, not only those at the top echelons, but will give power to everyone and unlock the chains of poverty.
When you listen to some of the current Pan-African heroes and scholars, like Professor Lumumba, Bishop Maponga, and Ambassador Eradicating, they all believe and agree that leadership is a solution to all our problems that we face in Africa, as opposed to politics.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I have a different opinion, a different line of thinking. I think, of course, leadership is important, but I think at the center of it all, like I said, is economics. So the moment we start to analyze it from that angle, it becomes easier. I think economics is the source of our problems. And
can leadership solve the economic problems?
Good leadership can. Good leadership can.
What is good leadership?
Good leadership is like I'll always go back to the Ubuntu concept. Good leadership means you are serving the people. and you are valuing your environment, you are valuing other people, and you are valuing yourself as well. So, yeah, I would think that leadership plays a role, but it's playing a secondary role. It's not the primary role.
Okay.
The primary role is the moment we start to teach practical economics
Okay.
in our schools, then the leadership will follow. So I think the leadership has to follow as a
So
secondary
economics
item.
comes before leadership.
Yes, this is what I think. This is what I think. If I'm to be the Minister of Education, every African child should be taught basic economics, practical economics.
Wouldn't that be leadership as a minister?
Would that be?
Wouldn't that be leadership?
That's education for me.
If you are the Minister of Education
Yeah.
and you're making sure all schools are teaching practical economics, isn't that leadership?
For me, I would argue to say it's education. Of course, it's leadership-driven education, but at the
So
center
which
of
one is
it all,
coming first?
for me,
The leadership or the education or the economics?
like you're the problem is if we think it as one element, we lose it all.
Okay.
Because these elements
They're all connected.
they're all connected. So if we focus on leadership,
We miss
then we might run back to pull back the economics and run back to pull back the education. But I'm looking for a better way to put it across, like maybe education-driven leadership or economics-driven
leadership-driven
leadership.
education.
Yes, something like that, such that it's a hybrid model. Because the thinking, if we focus on the leadership only, something will lack along the line.
So powerful. Now, if you could be the president of your country,
Yes.
what kind of president would you be and what changes would you bring?
Now, that's a very tough question. But if my country calls me to save my nation, I wouldn't say no. But what I hope to see,
You're open to becoming the president of your country.
if my people want me to save them,
Okay.
if my people want me to save them, and also if I have at that point the time, the talents, and the treasures to lead the nation, I will. But what I want to see, or what I hope to see, is a leadership that puts Africans first before anything else, which means with our economics, are we putting Africans first? With our production, with our land, with our governance, Africa should come first and African should come first. So if I'm a leader, that's my basic philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the leadership of different African countries today, it appears to me that we have more politicians than leaders. If you find offices of leadership,
Yeah.
do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree with that because, like I said before, the politics that we have, we're just filling. We're just filling the gap. We're just filling the Western system. But if we trace back to our history, we found that our leadership in Africa, everyone had a role.
Okay.
The father would provide, the mother would take care of it. Everyone played a part. Everyone was a leader.
Uncles,
The
aunties.
uncles had their roles. But now we adopted the Western system, which places the focus on the top, and the people below become useless. So in our own system, in our own African system, everyone had a role to play. Everyone was a leader. That's why we had minimum conflict in our society.
Normally, when we discuss, whenever people talk about leadership, politics, and governance, they mainly concentrate on the people occupying offices.
Yeah,
Now, let's look at the people who are down there, the ordinary people, the common citizens.
yeah.
What practical things can they do to ensure proper leadership in their families
Yeah,
and in their countries?
the practical thing, like I said, like I'm going to say, economics is the center of everything. So if we trace back in time, before the Europeans were doing barter system,
Okay.
exchanging our things, and now when money came, because the population was growing bigger, money became a medium of exchange. But now the lack of money causes people to do crazy things.
Okay.
People would sell their own children because they were hungry. So money brought a different form of greed in our society. So to answer the question, I would want to see the practical solution is how do we solve the issue of economics, because the government, in as much as they are doing, they will never come and hand you a check
Okay.
or hand you money. You know, it's inflationary and it's all complicated. So for us general citizens is how do we find ethical economic solutions? For example, do you have land? Most of us, we come from rural areas.
Okay.
What have you done? What have you planted in your rural area?
Okay.
What do we have? So we're now addressing the issue of
The
land,
land, which is the green.
which is the green. You have the land, but you're saying you're poor.
Okay.
You have the land, but you're saying the government is like we're going hungry with this government, but you have the
We are
land.
lacking what to eat.
You are lacking what to eat. You can't.
But we have the land.
You have the land. So some of our problems, of course, you know, like I said, those at the top maybe might not be doing so well, but it's also up to us to make sure that our suffering comes to an end. How do we do it? The economics.
Now, talking about the land involves so many things.
Yes.
The resources on the surface and also below the surface.
Yeah.
Now, how can we maximize the resources that we have on our land in Africa here? We have seen other continents exploiting Africa, taking the minerals, giving us loans and grants, and they take the minerals in exchange, and they are sold, we sell them in unprocessed forms.
Yeah.
Now, what realistic things can we do as Africans so that we maximize our land to solve our problems?
Yeah. When we're talking about the land, for example, right, we start with the farming land.
Yeah.
But also there's that aspect of the, what do you call it, the minerals, right? So what we have to make sure is the value addition part.
Okay.
You know, we have so many minerals, but some of our minerals are being smuggled outside to be processed outside. We have lithium in Africa, but lithium is being sent to China. Then we receive it back, you know, times 10 the price as our lithium batteries and there's our solar panels and the likes. So if we could have a processing industry that we mine our products and we produce them. But now it comes back to the capacity, because some scholars argue that in Africa we don't have knowledgeable people to deal with this kind of technology. That's why we have to send them to more developed communities or developed areas. So it now boils down to,
But is that reasonable or it's an excuse?
I'd say business-wise, it makes sense, because how many Africans do we have that are specialized in a particular trade?
Like which trade exactly?
For example, how many Africans do we know who can polish diamonds?
Okay.
Yeah. So we start to see that the educated Africans probably were subjected to brain drain, and they now work in Western environments. So we now see that we have a difficult and complex situation that we have, that most of our educated professionals, the key professionals, are probably not there. Or so as a business case, it makes sense to send the things to China. Business case as in it profits the one in charge.
For how long shall we do that?
Now that's a conversation that we should have. We should sit down.
What should we do to stop that?
For start, we should sit down as a community, on a community level. Sit down and say, where do we start? If we have to send people to go and get the quality education and come back to improve our community, then that's a good start.
Now, I want us to be realistic here.
Yeah.
What can the governments do and what can the ordinary people do?
I mean, the government can set policies.
Okay.
Policies which empower the people.
Okay.
Now, the people also, I think, the people should also have cooperatives,
Okay.
such that they participate in the mining in the area of the things that they should mine. Because the classical case of what happens is you mine, a corporate mines, but you find the community is poorer than ever. So why can't the community participate also in the mining activities by owning, it could be shares of the land,
Okay.
or by participating, if they are willing and able, they should also participate and get a profit from the participation of the economic activity.
We still have people dying of hunger in Africa. As we speak now, people are dying of hunger in Africa.
Yeah.
And yet we have fertile land.
Yeah.
Now, we grow crops like coffee, tea,
Yeah.
and the tea is bought from countries like Uganda, Kenya,
Yeah.
taken to Europe, processed and sold back to Africa
Yeah.
as English tea,
Yeah.
as European tea.
Yeah.
Now, how can we change that?
I mean, it's all
How
starts.
can the ordinary African there, who is not in any position of power,
Yeah.
how can we change that?
I mean, it starts from our history. We should look back. Coffee, it was never like, you can't get food with coffee. It's a luxurious sort of product. You can live without coffee.
It's not a need.
It's not a need. Coffee, you can. But now people love it. People love chocolates. But
Okay.
what we really need,
Chocolate from a cocoa.
yeah, from the cocoa, that's from Ghana and the likes. But now what we need proper cereal foods.
Okay.
So we have to see, like, when we look back in history, the Europeans introduced maize, for example.
There was food security here.
Yeah. Before
they came.
Before they came,
There was
we
food
had
security.
food security because we understood our crops.
Okay.
We could plant small grain crops that are drought resistant.
Okay.
So it means that if you put anything in the land, you get a harvest. It might be small if the season is bad, but you are guaranteed to get something. So now, when they introduced maize, maize needs a lot of rain.
Okay.
So if you have a bad year, you have hunger. So we shifted from our small traditional grains to the Western maize. And it means that it makes us more vulnerable. So before we were self-sufficient, people could harvest, people could eat what they farm, and there was a lot of food security. So what's happening now, we adopted Western systems, and we are now
The
struggling.
GMOs are coming in.
The GMOs are coming in, and we are now struggling with a Western system. So the practical thing is to look back in time, our history. What were our people doing in the past? So some of our problems in Africa are man-made.
Okay.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with the government, or maybe partially to do with the government, but everything to do with you. You have to look back in time. What were your ancestors doing? And try to implement solutions which will bring food on the table.
So
for family.
you believe that we can fight hunger in Africa?
Yes, hunger can be fought.
Okay.
Hunger can be fought.
Without any external support.
No. Hunger can be fought without any external support. As long as you have the land, and also something that is understated is the biological acid,
Okay.
which is our cattle, our goats, a source of protein, a source of milk, then our cereals from the land. So hunger can be fought using practical methods.
So we should work the land.
Every African youth, everyone of African origin, including myself, including you, should go back
To the land.
to the
work
land
it.
and work it. Go back to the land. That is where everything is. And this is solving the economic situation.
Bishop Maponga said every man should have two wives.
Yes,
The first wife is the land.
the land first.
And then the second wife is the one who bears you children.
Yeah, the one who bears the children.
And he
Because
said before you make the second wife pregnant, you must make the first one pregnant.
first one, your barns should be full.
Mm.
You should have plenty to eat. Because if you are full, normally people, who are causing lots of problems in politics, they have empty stomachs. But if you are a full man, there's no need to be greedy. There's no need for 2 farms because you already have plenty. There's no need for corruption because you already are content with what you have. So greedy people, hungry people in the mind and physically are the ones causing problems in the politics, in the governance, in the leadership.
Now, when you look at Africa Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals,
Yes,
they all agree that we are supposed to eradicate poverty.
yes.
Are these goals realistic?
On paper, it's good. It's actually a good plan because you need a vision for everything.
Okay.
But a lot of work needs to be done
Okay.
for us to achieve that. So two key things that are useful to fight poverty. Number 1, we have education.
Okay.
Number 2, relationships. So
Relationship.
relationships,
Okay.
yeah.
And
So, so education gives a person options. Education gives a person understanding of the situation.
Okay.
But this education should not be limited to the formal education system.
Okay.
The informal education system also has answers for poverty eradication
And other problems.
and other problems.
Informal education.
Informal education. So
Okay.
education is the tool that we need, is what the African Union and all of African origin should be investing in. Self-education, informal education, and that informal education.
And formal education.
Yeah. And number 2, relationships. You are only going to fight poverty because of relationships. Now, if we have South Africans chasing other Africans saying, go back, no, we are more divided than ever.
Because those people can buy your products.
They can buy your product. Those are your customers. How do you chase your customers?
Countries can do businesses with one another.
You can do business with one another, but now if you are killing each other, there's no
And
peace.
you can also help one another.
How can you do economics? You can't participate in economics when there is no peace. So you see that the state of relationships, and also with relationships, we focus on who are the role models for us. Who are the role models? Who have the people who have found the tools to fight poverty? So you'd find in Africa, most people will not share with you the tools, the secrets to beat poverty. So we are living, in secluded places. That's why we now have platforms like this where we want to talk about practical solutions to eradicate poverty. So the agenda, it's bold,
Okay.
it's possible, but we have to put in a lot of work.
So it is realistic.
It is, in my opinion, it is realistic. It's better to have a big goal. If we fail, we are just close to it. But a lot of work.
Are we doing enough to achieve those goals?
Not yet. Also, we are partly responsible as general citizens.
Okay.
We don't have places where people can sit, people can read, people can study, people can argue, people can discuss issues that have to do with poverty eradication. So it also falls on us. It also falls on our media, our entertainment, how much time we are wasting on, watching useless things, So it's also on us. So that's why I think that it's realistic, but everyone has to put a part. We have to focus, on education, on our relationships, strengthening, Africa that we need, strengthening collaboration, strengthening areas of economics and trade. So it's bold, but I'm an optimist. I think it's possible, but a lot of work needs to be done.
Now there's a single mother somewhere in Harare
Yeah,
who is lacking what to eat,
yeah,
and there's a young man in Ghana who cannot go to school because he lacks money.
yeah,
And there's a man somewhere, there's a poor man somewhere
yeah,
who is landless.
yeah.
Now, what advice can you give to those people? What practical things can they do to
Now,
fight poverty?
to fight poverty, I would give you a a story.
You talked about education and relationships.
Education and relationships,
main things.
As the two main things. So I'll give you an example, a story rather, which is based in history.
Okay.
We had a system in our country before the Western capitalistic system. We had a system called Buronza. Buronza, yes.
That's in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, that's in Zimbabwe. And the culture was in the southern areas where the system called Buronza.
For the entire southern Africa.
Yeah, but it's no longer there, but we had, like, we know about it. It's there in our language. So this system is, I know that you don't have, say, take for example, you don't have cattle.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay.
Right? I give you 1 female cattle. Now you can milk this cattle, this cow. You can milk it and you can farm with it, but you can't kill it because it's not yours.
I shouldn't eat it.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat it because it's a loan that I've given you.
You loan me a cattle.
I will loan you a cow, like one.
A cow,
right? A female cow. I will loan you 1 female cow. Then another person, relationships. Remember relationships.
Okay.
Another person loans you a bull.
Okay.
Then the bull mates with
the
cow that I've given you.
Okay.
Then the bull goes back.
Okay. I give back the bull.
You give back the bull because it was just for mating.
And I give you back the cow.
Then at some point I take back my cow.
I remain with the calf.
You remain with your calf.
Okay.
So
I now have 1.
I've empowered you.
Okay.
Through the power of relationships.
Yes.
And education. I've empowered you. You are now richer after the loan period.
Okay.
Now with the capitalistic system, if you go and take a loan, for that kid in Ghana who's wants to go, if they go to the
that young man who wants to go to school.
Yeah, wants to go. If you go and take the loan, after you finish, you are poorer than before. But now we had the system, our African system, which empowered those who didn't have. They would be richer after the loan period. You are being paid interest, and you are being empowered. So, to answer the question, if we could go back and try to find, in the informal because this is informal education, but it was there. So if you can find informal elements where we can empower those who do not have at that point, we can have a bigger chance of beating poverty.
How can we have a modern day Buronza all over Africa?
Buronza,
a modern day now, looking at the situation now.
A modern day looking in our situation right now is
someone may not give me a cow, but something.
Yeah.
How can we have a modern day Buronza?
But now it's difficult. Like I said before, money, like the money you have right now, is losing value.
Okay. Every day.
Every day. That's why you charge interest.
Yeah.
Because money is losing value. A dollar today.
Paper money.
Yeah, paper money. A dollar today is not the dollar tomorrow. So if we are using money as a medium of exchange, it's difficult to apply that system. But if we try to use biological assets in form of our cattle, our goats, our sheep, whatever that we have at our disposal, like at our earliest possible. So I would think there's a person in Zimbabwe. He's a businessman. I will not say the name. He's trying, to monetize or some sort the wealth that is in the biological assets.
Okay.
It's a complex concept, but I'm sure if we sit down as a community and try to somehow monetize the biological assets that we have, that I can loan you a cow, then I empower you, then you grow your head, then you're able to pay for your school fees, you're able to pay for things like that, and shifting away slightly from the monetary system, which is depreciation along with time. So we should have a mature conversation and sit down and try to find practical solutions and how we can tweak the system for our benefit with what we have.
Now, looking at the state of education in Africa today,
yeah,
where can we draw the line between informal education and formal education?
Informal education, because we should understand from our history, our ancestors were not writing things down.
Okay.
Yeah. So informal education comes from our society. If you sit down to listen at the old people speaking, there's a lot of wealth, there's a lot of informal education and a lot of nuggets in there. So the way that informal education in Africa, it was through oral tradition, through our stories,
Songs,
through our music,
folktales.
through the folktales. So if you listen, pay attention to listen to that. But now the challenge that we have is they were not writing things down as we are doing right now with the books, with everything. But for a open mind, a mind that a teachable spirit, you will find the nuggets in the informal African education system. They are there,
Okay.
but you just have to open your mind and really listen and really look and find those lessons.
Now, informal education seems to have lost its place in Africa today.
Yes, of course.
How can we have a hybrid model
Yeah.
so that we maximize informal education and also formal education, so that we don't lose the wisdom we talked about coming from informal education?
I mean, to find the hybrid solution, like it's up to scholars like you and me to try to take those informal stories and try to formalize them such that when you present it to the younger generation, they can take lessons, they can take notes from it. So it takes a calculating mind to try and take the nuggets from the informal system and repackage it
Okay.
and bring it back,
Customize it.
customize it.
Okay.
But number one, it takes a mind which should understand the importance and also make it easier for some
Okay.
to access that basic knowledge and understanding.
So how can we repackage
Mm.
the wisdom in informal education?
It's by writing stories.
Okay.
You know,
We had on the stories.
writing
cocktails.
stories, storytelling.
We
you
can
know,
produce videos from the
we can
stories.
produce videos, music, our instruments. So it all comes back to storytelling, because the greatest why most of our people right now, most of our age and younger, are captured, it's because of the Western storytelling,
Okay.
the Western media, you know, the Western movies. That storytelling, you know, it stays with you, it stays in your subconscious. So where is the African storytelling? Where are they? Because education is not only in the books,
Okay.
it's in the movies, it's in
Okay.
the content,
In the songs.
in the songs. What are you consuming? Because right now, the typical African, it's African hardware
Okay.
consuming Western and Eastern software.
Okay.
So that device is going to crash at some point or the other. So we want to, hypothetically, we want to build an African hardware which can function on African software. And this African software is the informal and formal hybrid model, which is African elements, African song, African music,
African books.
African books, and African movies,
African stories.
African stories, storytelling. Storytelling is the key, because right now we're captured because of, you know, the James Bond movies. They're, you know, those Western heroes. They are still in the African mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a wise man once said, "Ignorance is the greatest disease in the world."
Yeah,
How true is that in Africa?
it's true, because most of us are ignorant
Okay.
of where we're coming from.
Okay.
That's why you find that it's difficult for us as Africans to manufacture solutions for the future,
Okay.
because we are ignorant of our history, we are ignorant of our situation, you are
Our
ignorant
economics,
of your economics. You don't even know that your grandfather left you a piece of land.
Okay.
You know, you are busy in the urban area, but your grandfather left a piece of land for
There's
you.
land in the village.
There's
but
land
we
in
are
the
loitering
village
in the cities.
where you are running from. You know,
There's wealth.
there's wealth. You know,
Okay.
the classical thing is, you have a case in Africa where we are flying out. You know,
Okay.
brain drain. We are
Brain
going.
drain.
We are going to Europe. We're going to look for employment in in Asia,
In America.
and the same Europeans, they're flocking to come to Africa. The same
That's the paradox,
Asians.
right?
Yeah, the paradox. That's why I don't understand. They're coming here,
We are running away.
looking for wealth, and we're running away. So it's a conversation.
Would it be that we are running away from wealth unknowingly?
Yeah,
But they know the wealth that we're running from?
that is where ignorance comes into play.
Okay.
Are we missing something? That's why I value the importance of having conversation.
Okay.
We should have a conversation to say, guys, what are we missing?
Okay.
Where are the opportunities? Where is the economics? What are we missing? What do we need? And how can we get the wealth? How can we solve the economics? How can we solve the poverty? So it also stems from ignorance, as you are saying, that we should be missing something.
Okay.
But for us to be able to know what we're missing, we should have a conversation at grassroots level, middle level, and
Now, there are young Africans, as we speak now, and some will even watch this video.
yeah,
They are planning to run away from Africa,
yeah,
to go and look for opportunities outside.
yeah,
But also there are Europeans, there are Asians, there are Chinese, Americans who are planning to come to Africa
yeah,
to come and mine the wealth that we have here.
yeah.
What advice do you give to those young people who can't wait to run away from Africa?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the education, because our education system it's training us. You know, it's rooted in the Western elements. We're being trained to fit in.
Okay.
The
Not to stand out.
Yeah, to fit in the Western system.
Okay.
So you are not being taught to fit in to your natural African system. So I don't blame them.
Okay.
I don't blame people. I mean, I don't want also to speak for people, but
What advice do you give them?
the advice that I'll give is you should have an honest conversation with yourself,
Soul searching.
soul searching, and try to think what opportunities are there within the African context, within the relationships that you have,
Okay.
within the education that you have, within you. Are there opportunities? And maybe if you can't find, because I know we come from complex backgrounds,
Okay.
different backgrounds. So I wouldn't want to subscribe a particular situation from them. But first, let's analyze what we have
Okay.
within us. Then look elsewhere if possible.
Now, there's something I've noticed among the young people in many African cities.
Yeah.
You find the young people loitering in the capital cities
Yeah.
and other urban centers.
Yeah.
But those same young people, they have land in the villages.
Yeah.
But they don't want to use the land. They instead run away to the cities to look for jobs.
Yeah.
And you can find someone that's been working for over 5 years looking for jobs.
Yeah.
What do you tell those young people?
We should also understand that, for example, in my country, when the colonialists or the Europeans, they set urban centers and marginalized
Okay.
rural areas. So you'd find that rural areas are not as developed. For example, some places, they don't have internet connection, no entertainment facilities. So you'd find that life is more vibrant in the urban cities. That's why most people love the urban cities. But now we have, enlightened young Africans who are starting to do things like rural tourism,
Okay.
where CEOs can go to the rural areas that's so quiet, and they can relax, and they are out of touch with the internet. So we have now people who are maximizing on rural infrastructure.
Okay.
Those round huts. You can make it as nice as possible. So we now have people who are maximizing the potential of rural areas. So it just depends on how much of an innovative mind do you have, and how much can you create economics, or can you create money from a hopeless situation? Because as it stands right now, the rural areas is dimmed hopeless. But in actual fact, it's up to you. How can you change the situation around? So we have people, you know, even in my country, rural Airbnbs, you know, rural designs, infrastructure designs that's so in line with the urban trends and can supply a need and demand.
So do you advise the young people loitering the cities to go back and make use of their land in the villages?
Of course, you know, of course, you have to, because land is the resource that we have.
Okay.
You know, is the resource that we have, and there's so much potential, like I mentioned.
You should go and make the land pregnant.
We should go and make the land pregnant. You know, there are lots of things that you can do. African tourism, for example, in the rural areas, there's a lot of water. Most rural areas, I mean, so it just has, you just have to think outside the box sometimes.
Most of them go back and sell the land and then go back to the cities with the money.
Now that's the danger now. Like we said, money, paper money, it's depreciating in value
Every day.
every day.
Okay. But land is appreciating in value.
Land is appreciating in value, and same as biological assets. Biological assets are not subject to inflation.
Okay.
No.
Like cattle, goats.
Yeah, cattle, goats, you are protected from inflationary things. So it means that if you are in the urban areas, yes, you are there, you are enjoying, but you are playing a game that, you know, is in depreciation.
Okay.
So
you're playing a losing game.
you are playing a losing game.
Okay.
You know, the system is rigged for you. So
Okay.
it would
Rigged
be
against
better.
you.
It would be better to have both.
Okay.
You know, you've sowed a bit in the urban, and you've also sowed in your rural area, such that you can benefit from both systems. Yeah.
Now let's move through the thinking tool.
Yeah.
Now we move to orange.
Orange.
Is that orange?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is now the media and entertainment.
Okay, let's talk about the media and entertainment.
So that is what we also talked about, is what's feeding your mind.
Okay.
What kind of content are you eating upon? Like,
It is common today to find almost every African is scrolling mindlessly and
They're
purposelessly,
scrolling, and
watching videos that
what you're scrolling,
do not even help them.
just know that someone had an agenda.
Okay.
You know, someone wanted to, you know, talk to your mind. So
Okay.
if you are scrolling European content, it's very normal for you to dress like a European,
Okay.
because that is what you're seeing.
So the media is a tool for mind control.
The media is a powerful tool.
Okay.
It can be direct or indirect.
Okay.
So now, if we spend most of the time consuming Western, European media, it means that our thinking now becomes
we shall become psychologically European.
psychologically
But
you are
biologically
European.
African.
Yeah, but your hardware
Okay.
is African.
The software is European,
Software is European.
but the hardware is African.
The hardware is African. What does that device do? It crashes.
Okay.
So that's why we're seeing a dysfunction, you know, loss of identity amongst our people. You know, so it's because the media, it's direct and sometimes indirect. So it's something that, you know, we have to be careful about.
When you sit in a public bus or a plane
Yeah,
in Africa, you find many Africans are on their phones.
yeah,
Their eyes are glued to their phones,
to the phones,
and they're scrolling baselessly.
just scrolling.
You rarely find an African reading a book.
Nah, that is also the
How is the media contributing to the high level of ignorance in Africa?
because we also have to look at the coming of social media.
Okay.
You know, quick communication. You know, your instant messaging. So it's easy for you to, because reading takes effort. Like taking a physical book,
Okay.
it takes a lot of effort and dedication.
Okay.
So with WhatsApp, you know, it's very easy just to read a message, you know, maybe 100 words, and say, for today, I've read enough. So what we're seeing right now is erosion of the reading culture.
Okay.
This is something also that we want to encourage on these
Okay.
discussions and platforms. We want to bring back the reading culture, because readers are leaders.
Yes.
You know, you can't lead if you don't.
If we want to lead Africa, we should read.
You should read as widely as possible.
Okay.
So that's now why we're having also, you know, a crisis in personal self-leadership, because
We lack knowledge.
we lack knowledge and understanding. You know,
Okay.
you're just scrolling on your phone, reading a little, you know,
Watching some useless videos
watching some useless
that don't even
videos
add value.
that don't even add value to your thoughts. Because the business that we have is the quality of thinking. So we have a situation where, you know, most of our age, you know, reading is now, you know, people are just reading maybe to pass an exam.
Okay. Beyond the classroom, no reading.
Beyond the classroom, I can't
Okay.
take it.
So now, what kind of books would you recommend to Africans to read to help them understand themselves and also to become the leaders they are supposed to be, to lead Africa to the promised land?
The books that I would recommend, there's one called African. We'll put it up
Okay.
and also put up the link to our Telegram group. There's one called African Religion,
Okay.
should be by Lugira.
Okay.
Then there's by Bishop Maponga,
Okay.
African Solutions to African Problems. It's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay.
Then we also have, there's a book by, it's called Chaminuka by, it should be Solomon.
Say that again. The title.
Chaminuka. It's
Chaminuka.
Chaminuka was a Zimbabwean big prophet.
Okay.
So it's by, I think, Solomon Machairo.
Okay.
We'll put it up there for people to consume.
Okay.
So there's also on leadership. I would go for John Maxwell. Anything by John Maxwell.
Okay.
It's good on self
Self-leadership.
leadership. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything by John Maxwell, I would recommend. So yeah, I wouldn't want to load you with lots of books. but
On economics, because you said economics is
On
at the center of
economics.
everything.
on economics, also you would get something from African religion. You get something, but economics, I would recommend Why Nations Fail.
Okay.
Why Nations Fail, and also I would recommend Understanding the Framework of Poverty.
Now, okay.
Yeah, that's that.
By who?
I'm not sure about the author. We'll
Okay,
put
we
it
shall
up.
put it up there.
Yeah, we shall put it up. I've forgotten the author.
And also maybe books by Felisa Dambisa Moyo,
Yeah.
that great Zambian economist.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll also put it up there.
And those who want to venture into the Pan-African space.
In the Pan-African space, we are creating, first of all, we're creating a digital library.
Okay.
Because you can't speak if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. Most of the people claim to be Pan-Africanists.
Claim
but
to be Pan-African, but you don't understand African history. You don't understand where we're coming from and where we're going. So the first thing that we're doing, we're creating a Pan-African digital library
Okay.
on Telegram. We'll put the Telegram link in there.
The link is in the description.
Yeah, in the description, where you know we are on a path of self-education. Then after we have read sufficient enough,
Okay.
we start discussing.
Okay. Now, what books do you recommend? What Pan-African books do you recommend?
The Pan-African books that I would recommend, if you are a modern scholar, I would recommend. There's a series by Professor Arthur Mtambara.
Okay.
He's Zimbabwean, but he has a very good Pan-African collection.
What is the name of the series?
It's just his autobiography.
Okay.
So from there, you know, you can get lessons. But
Maybe books by also Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Long Walk to Freedom.
Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom is also another
Kwame
interesting
Nkrumah's
book.
books.
Kwame Nkrumah's books, and also, you know, there's one by Steve Biko.
Okay.
I say what I like. It should be. Yeah, I think it's
Chinua Achebe.
Chinua
also has wonderful
Achebe.
books.
Yeah, you know, very great books. But we are going to make sure that we load them in
Okay.
the digital library.
So click the link
Yeah.
in the description to join the library.
To join the library, we're going to load a
All
lot.
the books will be there.
All the books will be there.
And
So-
then maybe to clean it up, we have a powerful book by Ambassador Arikana, Africa 101, The
Yeah.
Wake Up Call.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful book to begin with for you who wants to understand where Africa is coming from, the effects of slavery and colonization, and how you can play a part in building the Africa that we want.
Sure.
As a scholar, as a peasant, as a farmer, as a doctor, anyone. Africa 101, The Wake Up Call.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move to African culture. We are looking at presently the massive erosion of African culture,
Yeah.
so that a modern day African now is ignorant of his own identity, and we have seen how the influence of the Western information that we get through maybe the media is also affecting how we see ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, how can we fix the cultural issues in Africa, beginning with our personal identities?
Yeah.
Because when you ask a Chinese knows.
They know.
He knows himself. When he comes to Africa, he comes as a Chinese. He will live here for 10 years as a Chinese and will go back as a Chinese. And immediately an African crosses over to Europe. His Africanness dies.
Yeah, it dies.
You meet an African in Europe, he does not even want to associate with you. How do we change that? What has happened to our culture? How do we fix that?
I think we also have to not to be ignorant about how history played a role.
Okay.
You know, when Christianity and religion came, not only Christianity, when the Muslims came, or let me just say religion came, it eroded the African values, it eroded the African culture. So right now what we have is Africans with no identity, you know. So yeah, we are at crossroads, but it's possible that we can find back our identity. You know, there are still few people who still have African identity, and the best way is to learn from them and improve from that and rebuild the African values and identity.
How do you identify such people?
Such people, the greatest example, I always give this example, is if you study the life of the San people in the Kalahari in Botswana. They are the truest San. They call it the San people.
The San.
Khoisan.
Khoisan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Powerful. Like they are a powerful example of
in the Kalahari Desert.
In the Kalahari Desert.
They are there up to now.
They are there up to now, and they still migrate. You know, they don't own anything.
Okay.
Per se, like in our westernized thinking, they don't own houses, they don't own cars, they don't own anything, but the bush supplies everything.
They live in the bush.
They live in the bush up to now.
Okay.
The bush.
Do they go to formal schools?
They don't go to formal schools, but right now, you know, the governments are trying to get them to have some formal education system. But now the bush provides them everything. Medicine, food, nutrients, whatever. The bush gives them everything. And they are very happy.
In which countries are they found today?
Right now they are in Botswana. Botswana and Namibia. You definitely will find those societies. So what am I saying is, why can't we have a session where we go to them, sit down with them,
learn from them?
You might find that when we leave that place, we have learned 5 things which will improve African values, traditions, and how we live with each other.
Now, to an African who is not close to those people, who may not have the chance to meet those people, how can they identify the people who understand themselves, who understand their culture in their area?
In their area,
so that they can learn from them.
If you understand the concept of Ubuntu, it will be difficult. It will be very easy for you to identify a culture which has rich, African values. But the key elements: check how they are treating their land. Check how they are treating the cattle. Cattle and land should be the indicators, because these are African.
Check their governance, check their economics, check their leadership.
Yes, but the easiest 2 things: the land and the cattle. Then you would find your answers there. Yeah.
Now, as we move to wrap it up, let's look at African spirituality and religion in Africa. Where do we draw the line between religion and spirituality in Africa? Let's start from there.
Religion, if we look it up in the dictionary, it's I'll paraphrase. It's a form of organized practices, organized worship, which typically has a founder, or typically they have someone who studied, someone human. But spirituality is how you live in harmony with the one who made you,
Okay.
and the one that you're living with, which
Okay.
is the environment,
Okay.
other people, and yourself.
Okay.
So spirituality is not confined to doctrines.
Or dogmas or
No,
some books and
it's not
principles.
it's not confined that I worship
Mm.
one day a week.
Okay.
Spirituality is how you live in harmony.
It's a daily thing.
It's a daily thing. You know, as you walk, as you breathe,
Mm.
how are you living in harmony?
Mm.
So religion came, when the colonialists came, they came with religion as a tool to
Okay.
dominate and enslave the minds, to allow
Mm.
the mercenaries to come,
Okay.
those who wanted to take the land.
Mm.
So they wanted to tame
Mm.
the African thinking,
Mm.
such that those who are coming to capture
Mm.
will come easily. So it was used as a tool, not in a good way, but
Okay.
religion can be a good tool. Good religion
Okay.
can be a good tool to empower and instill values in a nation.
How do you know a good religion?
A good religion you see by the works of the religion. A good religion is a religion which unshackles the people from the chains of poverty.
Okay. That's a good religion.
That's a good religion, because we now have religion. I don't know if they are cults or I don't know what to call them,
Mm.
but they are enslaving people.
Okay.
The people are poorer than ever.
Okay.
We have a classical case in Zimbabwe where
Okay.
some religions, I won't say which religions, but
Okay.
they are buying factories.
Okay.
Buying a factory, then people,
Uh-huh.
people come to pray for employment.
They buy factories
Buy factories,
and then do what with the factories?
convert them to the worship center, where
Okay.
people come,
Wait. They buy factories,
buy a factory,
a working factory,
a working factory,
and they convert it into a church.
convert it to a church.
People come to the church
People come to the church
and pray for employment.
and pray for employment.
What kind of economic model is that?
That's why I'm saying a good religion should be able to unlock economic tools. Why don't you buy land?
Okay.
People come and
Work
farm,
on the land. And
work on the land. Why don't you buy the factory? People come, produce,
okay.
and they are more empowered by the end of the religious worship. So a good religion to me is something that unlocks the poverty chains. We have religious people or people that are buying, for example, football teams, for
Okay.
example,
Okay.
billion-dollar football teams, and employing people in the congregation or in the religious space. So we have other good religions which are unlocking economic opportunities, good economic opportunities, honest economic opportunities,
Okay.
corrupt-free economic opportunities for the people, to empower the people. So a good religion should empower the people in the most ethical way possible.
Now, a great Zambian called Reverend Mwambazi said religion is the number one cause of poverty in Africa. Do you agree with that?
I think it's up to you as a person.
Okay.
It's up to you, and
Or is there a role religion plays
it's a role
in causing poverty in Africa?
for an unsuspecting mind.
Okay.
Religion can be brainwashing of the masses
Okay.
if you are not careful. If you are not careful, but for a mind which is committed to self-education and analysis,
Okay.
you can distinguish this is a bad religion, this is a good religion.
Okay.
So you can see, if you open your eyes, you can see that this religion is enslaving me to poverty. A good religion unlocks you from the poverty thinking, poverty mindset.
Is it possible that many Africans today have been enslaved or are living in mental prison because of religion? Their minds have been captured to a point that they are properly in a prison. And how can they get out of that prison and make proper use of their mind?
If we go back to history again, we saw how religion played a role. So sometimes it's not your fault per se, because you are just born. If we say birth is random, you are just born in a particular religion or in a particular geography which allows a particular religion.
Okay.
But that's where education comes into play, you know.
Mm.
So, yeah, a lot of religious practices are limiting people from their greatest potential.
Mm.
But that is why, you know, we want to have more discussions like this,
Okay.
where we can be able to self-introspect
Okay.
and be able to discuss this matter, not from a personal point of view, but
Okay.
from a point of view that we want to grow as a people, want to unlock the chains of poverty in Africa. We want to build capacity in Africa. We want to be, you know, self-sufficient in Africa, eradicate poverty. So it takes us to have conversations, more conversations like this,
Okay.
you know, to try and find solutions to the problems that we face.
We will wind up with health.
Yeah.
What is the state of health in Africa? When you look at China as an example, you go to Chinese supermarkets, you find Chinese local herbs in their supermarkets. And they use their local medicine more than the processed medicine from abroad for their treatment. What is the state of health in Africa today?
The state of health in Africa, we are operating from a colonized point of view, in that we threw away our traditional medicine, and no one had the desire to put in more scientific research to try and formalize the informal systems that are called informal by other people.
Okay.
But now in countries like China, you have you know, traditional medicine places that are actually recommended by qualified doctors.
Okay.
So that gap between the formal and informal is something that we have to sit down and try to cover.
Okay.
So we find that some of the drugs that we are being given in hospital, they could be an alternative, cheaper drug source, African source,
Okay.
that just needs, you know, more formalization and more research, such that we have our homegrown solutions, our homegrown herbs, homegrown medicines, you know, to cure the diseases that we have. You know. So I think there has to be, you know, a collaboration with the formal health professionals and the informal health professionals, such that they find together, find each other in the middle,
Okay.
to try and create a hybrid model that is puts African first, because most of the medicine that we are getting them from Europe,
India,
India,
Germany, America.
Germany, you know, and we have different DNA. We are different people.
Okay.
Our problems might not be their problems.
Okay.
So we want a solution, a health solution that is African based, that is in alignment to our DNA and our health, our way of living.
Now, what lessons can we learn from the experience we had during the COVID-19 era?
The COVID-19 era was a crisis.
Because we were waiting for
We were just
the
waiting
vaccines from outside.
because
What lessons can Africa learn from that? And how do we begin to prepare ourselves so that in case of the next pandemic, we can take care of ourselves without having to wait for solution from China, from Russia, from the US?
the greatest lesson that I learned is we now have to start investing in science and technology.
Okay.
In African hubs of science and technology, which are able to mass produce a requirement in times of crisis or times of need. We now need an Africa which can be able to participate in global economics.
Okay.
We now need an Africa which is able to supply services, finished products to other continents, such that we participate in the economic state of things on the global scale. Because we're now at the mercy of the Asians, we're now at the mercy of Europeans and Americans. So it put us at a disadvantage. A lot of people die waiting for a service,
Okay.
sort of like begging. So we now have to, you know, move away from the begging syndrome
To become self-reliant.
to become self-reliant and self-sufficient in our economic activities as Africans. But this is backed by science, technology. Yeah.
As we come to a close, what is your final message to Africans?
My final message to fellow Africans is we have to take responsibility for our situation that we're in. Might be negative, might be hopeless, but we have an opportunity to take responsibility for what we have right now. And also this is through collaboration, discussions. Why can't we have platforms where we discuss African issues, African problems, African solutions, as mature people, So we have to take responsibility, we have to self-educate, we have to study, read, and have an open and teachable spirit as Africans. So that's my final say to fellow Africans.
Thank you very much for appearing on the show, and we will be coming up with a lot more episodes. We want to discuss the issues in Africa and produce practical solutions, realistic solutions that even the ordinary person out there can apply. We'll be back with another episode. This is Africa 360.